Do, 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 do. Hear he. Presenting Lord Llew.
No, but I can't take that seriously. Oh Lord, that's
Ah.
like a tone deaf trumpet, man.
Listen, man, I try to give you a triumphant entrance because you decided that you're going to be Lord Llew. So listen, anyway, if you can't hold up your status of Lord, I'm going to maintain my status of Sir Bash. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 7 of the Respawn podcast with me, Sir Bash, and the not so Lord Llew on my what side is this? Are you on my right hand side? Yeah, on my right hand side. So the not so Lord Llew, please say how's it to all our peeps.
It is I, Lord Llew. My trumpets, however, are not very lordly, man. We need to upgrade those. Oh man, that caught me off guard, Sir Bash. I was expecting at least some hype to them. I was like, "Doo, doo, doo, doo."
Dude, how is your trumpet more hyped than what I did?
It definitely was, bro. Oh man.
It is what
We're
it is,
starting
brother.
the podcast off like this. Audience, I don't know what you guys can expect, but here we are. Episode 7, Sir Bash. How you feeling about that?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. We are on a very interesting journey, with the content that we're talking about, and I think
Mm.
it's definitely what's the word? Uh, Picking some attention. Some people are like, "Hey, wait a minute, that's really interesting," sort of thing. I am finding though that the commentary that I am getting are normally from sort of content consumers. You know what I'm saying? So they don't necessarily share and make sure like advertising gets done and everything. So please, guys, we're talking to so many of you. Please, please, please subscribe, share the links, comment, invite people, whatever it is. Just make it happen. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. We're all over the show. Help
Yeah.
us out there. We are so grateful for everything that you guys have done for us so far. Continue. And we know, look, we said last time Respawn is even not even starting to take shape yet, but we're very excited about what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? So, how you feeling, Butch? How's the week been?
But I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great because I honestly believe that the climate itself has decided it's on Team Lou, bro. Remember that episode, huh? When we had the discussion on summer versus winter. Look who's back, brother. Look who's
Oh my
back.
gosh. I blame
Wizzy
you.
wig, bro. What you see is what you get, and it is freezing and it is great. And we are excelling at life because of that, bro.
You know what? You know what? I was actually thinking these last couple of days, who the heck is responsible for this? But now you've shown me you're the one responsible for this nonsense, bro.
Bro, if I could just tell you what Lord Lou's responsible for, man.
It's definitely not trumpets that give hype. That's for sure.
That's the Sir Bash department category. But
Ah.
yeah, man, I'm doing well, bro. Look, episode 6 was pretty enjoyable. I enjoyed it. It took a nice juicy turn.
Mm,
I
mm,
think
mm.
the content we've been discussing, yes, if you had to ask us to be honest about it, episode 1, I did not know this is where we'd be at episode 6 and 7. It has taken a life of its own,
For
part
sure.
and parcel, just because that is who we are, Sir Bash and Lord Lou. Things just go in their own direction, but also part and parcel to the audience that has interacted and that has especially spoken to us face to face
Mm,
and
mm.
asked us questions and told us and sort of guided us in a sense to say, you know what, this has been really helpful. It would be nice, however, if you went in that direction or if you discussed this or you covered that, which I think we've done pretty well, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, look, even if the audience ain't finding it helpful, I am. So
No, of course, absolutely. And I think it's fair to say that the more we talk about these things, the more we discuss these things, they're even turning inside of us. It's like, hey, wait a
yeah,
minute, I forgot
100%.
about that. I got to do better with that. I got to focus a bit more. That kind of stuff. But like we know, the podcast game is new to either of us, so we're going with it. And thank you so much for everyone who's joining the journey. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. As always, we're here for you. Yeah.
Yeah, love you.
And also, we love the box.
4-time champions, baby. 4-time
Four,
champions.
baby. Four. Can you believe it? Cuatro. Uno, dos,
Cuatro.
tres. Cuatro. Un, dos, trois, quatre. Uh, Ek do din. Oh no. Ek
So,
do din.
Bash, I'm gonna have
Chai.
to ask you to
Ek
politely
do
just
din.
stop there,
Char.
bro.
I'm trying to get all my languages in line here. I was gonna count in Zulu. I don't know. I went blank.
Start with Afrikaans, bro. That's also
Ah,
more.
1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Let's go. but listen, man, what a match. I think that final was boom. It was unreal, dude. The tension. I mean, you were talking about the gray hairs in semifinals and quarterfinals. What about that final, bro?
Bro, what about that final, man? Oh, and and to think we didn't even score in the second half.
Jeez,
Literally 40 minutes of defending.
dude.
You know what? Praise God. They missed two of their kicks.
Yeah.
One of the penalties, the one conversion. We'll take what we can get.
Well, that's
But
it.
we are the champions. We are now the champions again for the next 4 years.
Exactly.
So to the
Exactly.
Bokke, you know what? Well done from the bottom of our hearts.
That's it.
There's definitely truth in what all the politicians are now saying that sports does unite the nation. There's an overwhelming good feeling after something like that happens. And a lot of the other stuff gets forgotten about temporarily, which is great. And I think the people remember that, hey, we are still people. Yeah, let's remember to love each other.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
remember that
Yeah.
we are still, united by something.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, there's only one negative to the to the box winning. I don't know if I should mention this, but I've already kind of mentioned it. But load shedding's back, bro. So
But
I'd honestly say that's the only downer to the week, man, is that like World Cup's over, load shedding's back. And I'm just like, well, that's poor.
dude, let's talk about this. How the ESCOM Sapush app gave the notification the minute the final whistle blew that load shedding was back.
Stage 2 and 3 has started. I'm like, bruh.
I was like, you didn't even give us a chance to revel in the victory. Oh my!
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no, this is too much. I was like, well, that's quintessentially South African, isn't it? No, it's
Yeah, like
not.
yesterday, my
It's not
house.
South African. I
Yeah.
take that back. It's ANC, and that's what
Yeah.
it is.
Don't speak Escom over the nation,
Nah,
bro.
that's it. Escomian. That's what it is.
Yeah, man. Yesterday in my household, there's so much confusion at 6 o'clock because stage 2 was from 10 to 12. All right, that's cool. No one's at home. They're all out at work. It's not going to affect anyone. Boom, stage 3 I started 6 o'clock from 6 to 8 p.m. Lights out.
Boom.
Nobody was expecting it, bro. And I'm like, didn't y'all check the schedule? But
Dude,
anyways,
it got so bad. I was even thinking last week, I'm like, wow, life with power again. This is great. Woo. Yeah.
felt like
So, I mean,
luxury, right?
yeah, it was crazy. I felt like I was in first world country again. It was fantastic. But listen, viewers, tell us what is your least favorite load shedding schedule slot. For
Oof.
me personally, it's either gonna be the 6 to 8 or the 6 to 10. That's my worst. I can't handle
Yeah,
that, dude.
those ones are horrible, man.
Yeah, no, it's
They're
bad.
absolutely horrible. 'Cause, like, what do you do? What do you actually do?
Yeah, exactly. Read a book, study, I don't know, whatever. The load shedding slots have made me more knowledgeable, though. I will say that. But anyway, right? Anyway, getting back to the matter at hand, episode number 7, right? Man, last week, Lou, we went on to discipline and consistency, right?
Yeah,
And look, I don't know, I don't know if we like releasing content too quickly or whatever it is, but the good part is that we're releasing it and it's up. Cause
yeah.
like even up until last week, someone was chatting to me and they were like, yeah. So in episode 4, I'm busy with that now. And I'm like, bud, you 2 episodes behind. What's going on? And I asked him like, why are you 2 episodes behind? He's like, no. When I'm watching the episode, there's so much to go through. There's so many nuggets, so many things to take, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, no, I get it. I get it. We're talking about it because we kind of like working it out in our daily kind of thing. So we're thinking about it a lot more than we're talking about it.
Yeah.
So I guess when it's coming out, we're not understanding completely the concentration.
Mm.
That is there. But we were talking about discipline and consistency, man. And I tell you, we got into some really, really, really juicy stuff. And I think this week, we said we were going to touch on the emotional side of things.
Oof. Yeah, the woman in the room, bro. It's a joke. It is a joke.
There's no woman here. I just want to clarify. There's no woman in my room. Okay. Just clarify.
Speaking of women, right? Sorry, it's a bit of a digression, but I have to state this. No, your brother is a clown.
I agree.
And I
Sorry,
say that
Kale.
with
Wait, I need to find out why. Hold up.
I say that with like no apology, but he had like good logic to what he was saying.
Okay.
So in episode 6, right, just to clarify,
Yeah.
I had a statement in which I mentioned I was speaking to my partner And he was like, "My guy, you can't be saying that because that's open to interpretation." It's like, is Llew, which side of the team is he batting for?
We look, we say he's a clown, but he's got a point.
He's got a point, right? Which,
Right.
man, it frustrated the hell out of me because I was like, "Sheesh," with everything that's being said on all these episodes, I need to properly consider some of my statements, man. And I was like, they are good nuggets, but that one was sitting with me, and it was like, that's that itch that you can't scratch.
Yeah, yeah,
A full
yeah.
clarification, my partner's a girlfriend. So
Okay,
we're batting
okay.
for the team that everyone would hopefully expect me to be batting for. I'm sorry, Bash. Lord Luke couldn't get through this episode without giving some sort of clarification on that.
Ah, jeez. You could have done a post for this or something. I
I
mean,
could have, yeah, but it's like that awkward, like just like imagine on Instagram, um, in quotation marks, my partner is a girlfriend, Lord Lou. It's just like, man, what is this? What kind of channel is this? So yeah, here we are.
everyone's like, "Oh, he's straight now. Oh, that's interesting."
Not just now. Hey, 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 you
No, no,
apologize.
no, no. I mean, from misinterpreting that comment.
Uh,
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Look, sometimes, sometimes your beard's a little bit too neat, but it's fine. It's okay. We'll look for.
but I just don't wanna look like a farmer, alright?
That's fair.
That's the
That's
only
fair.
difference there. But to your point,
Yeah.
speaking about emotions, you know what triggered me to now do all of that, what I just did? That whole clarification?
Wait, wait, wait. I think I got an idea.
Yeah.
Was it load shedding?
No.
Oh,
It was
o-
emotions, Bash. It was emotions. Because I
obviously,
wasn't I wasn't
obviously.
feeling right about what your brother said to me. So I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna hold on to this emotion of not feeling right until I sort it out." And now I feel great. I feel like I'm released and I can chat about the woman in the room.
Which is emotions.
Yeah. Uh, and that's a joke to all the ladies. The lady
Yeah,
audience,
yeah,
that
yeah.
is a
We
joke.
we're just kidding. We're
Please
just
take it in
kidding.
your stride. We love you all.
But we do understand that it's kind of a basic design concept that women tend to be a bit more emotional than men are. But I'll be honest with you, in today's day and age, oftentimes I struggle to see the difference.
Oof.
'Cause-
Especially in today's day and age, man.
Yeah, I think, and from my side, Lou, it's like if I could just take a moment to get into a personal interpretation here of how I'm seeing things.
Yeah.
Typically, guys have been, the more rugged, the more outdoorsy, the more harder, all that kind of stuff, and it's just a masculine versus feminine kind of thing.
Yeah.
And do you think that in our digital age, right, that the extent of the masculine side has dropped a bit? So if we look at, uh, you know, guys today are way more expressive than men would have been decades ago. You just look one or two generations back, right?
Yeah.
For example, I mean, two guys talking on a podcast like this. I mean, two a few decades back, guys wouldn't even be seen on camera. Yeah, you know
Mm.
what I'm saying? They wouldn't be opening up concepts and sharing intimate details and all these kind of things. There has
Yeah.
been a dynamic shift in how the sharing and the openness and all those things happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like be a man, don't cry. That kind of thing
Yeah.
has come through that. But along with that, is it maybe that our technology driven lifestyle, has caused us to be less disciplined with a lot of things?
Mm. Oh, that's a pertinent question. It's possible, man.
I mean, I
'Cause
mean, if you had to think, sorry, before you go there, right? Before you make your point, think about this, right?
yeah.
How much of technology being in your life affects your ability to be disciplined?
Sheesh. Let's see. I wake up and it's Instagram, man. So
Lou, you should wake up and spend time with the Lord, not Lord Lou. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
man. I'm in
but
my emotions again, Bash.
but think about it. I mean, do you think that's a fair point?
Yeah, definitely. I do think that's a fair point. Well, I mean, look, it all ties in with the timeline, like you're saying.
Mm,
Let's just go back 2 generations or so, and that's basically my age, then let's say your age, and then people slightly older than you that are also already
yeah.
parents, and then our parents' age, basically. And social media has blown out of the water in the
Mm,
past 10, 15 years.
mm,
Apart from that, there's been a lot more mindsets that have been, or views, can I say, that have been welcomed, such as the emotions aren't such a bad thing.
Mm,
You know, it's
mm.
okay to have them. It's okay to express them.
Yeah.
And that's also sort of been met with a challenge to masculinity, man,
No,
which I
of
do
course.
think's
Yeah, yeah.
a massive contribution to the state in which we now see
Mm,
the masculine versus the feminine,
yeah.
and it does kind of
And I think it's affected both, to be honest. You know,
no 100%.
I think both have been distorted in kind of the liberal worldview of things.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if you look at it, let's take that point you made now back about 2 generations or whatever back, right?
yeah,
Um, there wasn't this instant access to gratification.
yeah,
You with me? Now, in a world where we have instant access to gratification, right? Do you kind of think that we are in the space where we never have to put in effort to temper our emotion? Because the truth is, like what you said, emotions are good. We have been given emotions by God Himself to enjoy life. You with me?
mm,
What's the word I want to use? To intensify and to amplify our experiences. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if you're at a birthday party with no happiness. What the heck?
well, yeah, I mean, how can you have an experience apart from emotion? The emotion
100%.
is sort of what puts it on the fence of in a positive or a negative emotion.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can't really separate the two. To your point, though, I mean, there's definitely one hell of a lot more distractions,
Mm, mm.
which and it's a tricky one, man, because those distractions at first glance don't seem too detrimental.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like I mentioned, if I wake up and the first thing I do is social media, it doesn't feel detrimental in the moment at
Mm,
all.
mm.
Even though there's key principles being missed, such as, wake up, do X, Y, and Z first for your own mental well-being and just for building some character, such as, making the bed,
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
example, there's definitely one hell of a lot more distractions that don't feel bad. And they don't feel bad because it's basically the platform on which everyone connects now. So to now be a man or even a woman and to draw yourself back and say, you know what, this connection to the rest of the world is always going to be there. Therefore, I can take 10 minutes and just practice some discipline in doing a few other things.
Mm,
It's not
mm.
always the first sort of type of thinking that comes to mind.
No, of
And
course. Yeah,
and it kind of just comes down to what you mentioned in episode 6. We need to manage ourselves with that.
yeah, yeah.
But it's not easy in the sense that it's more easy to go the other way. It's
For
not that it's
sure.
difficult to be disciplined. It's just that it's so much more easier just to log onto Facebook and start scrolling.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm telling you, the advent of these bloody videos, man, short form videos, the rabbit hole. Oh,
It's a killer, bro. It's a killer.
oh
It's like,
man.
yo, it's insane, hey. And the thing is this, if we continually affirm that habit. So let's take that morning routine, right? Because
Mm,
let's say you had a rough, a late night, you worked hard the day before, whatever. You know, you go to sleep, and you wake up in the morning, and you've got some time, and and you're just going for it, and you scrolling, and you all that kind of stuff. When
yeah.
you reinforce that kind of habit, you know what tends to happen is, do you ever feel like you don't have enough juice left for the day? You
Oh
know,
man, that rabbit hole takes it out of you, bro.
yeah, like consistently, because you know what's actually happening is that from because emotions are responsive, right?
Yeah,
And like what you said is that they're there to enrich our
yeah,
experiences. So emotions are supposed to be in response to experiences. Okay.
yeah.
So you go on this emotional roller coaster down this rabbit hole that you're talking about, just on these videos. Okay.
Mm.
You've already gone through a week's worth of emotions in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and your brain and your whole body and your heart is just like, I can't do it. So I'm like, oh, it's like too intense. And you're like, okay, let me get up and start my day now.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So like to put some like context into that picture, right? So it's 8 o'clock, you wake up. By 8:30, right? You've already felt um what's the word there? You're already made to feel guilty because of what's going on with the current wars all over the world and how privileged you are to still have running water and electricity. And then you're already feeling like, wait, I don't know anything because someone's just released a new product that you don't understand. And then you're like, but I'm also broke as hell, man, because there's that new Porsche out and I can't afford it. I'm not even close to even considering that. And now I must get up and do whatever the hell it is that I had planned. It is
yeah,
a tricky one.
it is. It is. And it's this mechanic that, listen, should we be charging up our emotions void of reaction to experiences? It does
Should
not make
we?
sense.
To
Should we
charge
be,
up.
yeah, should we be charging up our emotions, right? Void of reactions to experiences.
Sheesh.
Because think
Break
about
that
it.
down for me. Break that down for
So,
me.
so, so think about it. Let's take the screen example, right?
Okay.
I can watch opinion after opinion after opinion, okay, of, oh, well, let's take the basic one. Let's go with this one, right? Audi
Yeah.
versus BMW.
Yeah.
Okay. That's yeah, polarized opinion on the stream right now, okay?
Straight out the gate.
Yeah, okay. Polarized opinion. Obviously, Lou doesn't understand anything. He's team Audi. I'm team BMW, okay?
Who understands even less than Lou.
Oh man. So again, there it's coming out. Now let's say I go and watch a string of opinions, okay? A string of opinions about this polarization,
Yeah.
okay? But now deep down what's happening is that I'm like trying to protect my own experience of things.
Mm.
So if I'm a BMW guy, whatever an Audi guy says, okay, even if it's going to be true, I'm
Yeah.
going to immediately get into this defense mode and charge up mode of how I can debase his argument, or how I can
Right.
find a loophole and say, no, he's wrong, he's this, whatever.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Take these global events that we spoke about these, the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You go down the rabbit holes of everyone out there now has this platform where they can just throw their opinions out there,
Mm.
right? They can throw it out, and anyone who wants to can listen to it. And if you go into a specific topic deep enough, right? What's going to happen is that you are going to uh, um, charge emotions, okay, into these opinions that with people that you haven't experienced.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, all you've done is you've been scrolling your phone for 15 minutes and you're upset. And you're like, wait, hold on. What's happened for me to
Mm.
be upset? I mean, you walk out the house and you kick the dog. You're driving and you're having road rage and all these kind of things. And for the life of you, you just want to punch someone in the face, but you have no clue why.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah.
Or maybe you've created this thing of wanting to fight with someone who's in Canada, saying
Bloody
saying
Canadians, bro.
yeah. Maybe you want to fight with someone in Canada who has a differing opinion to you, but he's getting personal and ugly about it.
Yeah.
Like we had in the last couple world events. These last four that have taken place now. The biggest thing is people come out and be like, "Yeah, if you disagree with me, you are XYZ."
Yeah, it's just extremes, man. It's either you with us or you're against us. It's like there's no middle ground to meet.
Yeah, 100%. And we have now these tools of technology, right? That when we use them properly, they are very, very good for us. All right.
Yeah.
They make us efficient. They make us more powerful. All these kind of things in the
Yeah.
things we need to get done. Right. Not
Yeah.
necessarily in being a person and growing and character. No, but as tools to living, getting
Mm.
things done. But there are certain products on these things, certain applications, okay, that, believe it or not, maybe they're not designed for that, but the side effect that they have on us are potentially detrimental, especially emotionally and mentally.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're saying that, Bash, in terms of there are tools that can be highly helpful. There are tools that can really help us in no matter what it is that we're trying to accomplish and achieve. And to summarize what you've been saying this whole time, I do believe that it's the exact same with emotions, is that it can be really useful or it can be really detrimental.
Mm, mm,
But it comes down to how we choose to employ those specific, whether it be the tools or those emotions at hand. And the sort of a not a discussion that we'll go into, but just take social media for example.
mm.
Now we can have a debate till kingdom come as to what the true agenda behind social media is.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I know.
And its true purposes and the effects it has on the brain and X, Y, and Z and the brainwashing and propaganda and wada 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 wada. But like you said, it's a choice as Bash the individual, as Lou the individual, as John, Mary, Kate, Jane, and Bob that are watching the podcast, it's their choices as individuals to say, you know what, this is how I'm going to let this tool affect me.
Yeah, yeah.
And on the same token, it's the same choice to say each day, well, you know what, this is how I'm feeling right now, but this is how
Mm.
I'm going to choose to let it affect me, if even, if even. And that comes down to what you were mentioning in episode 6, and that's why it's such a crucial point, and I'm glad it's coming up again. It's that management of self. But now what we're finding is that the management of self has to extend beyond just what's happening internally to, like you're saying now, the tools that are available at hand
Mm,
because of the
exactly.
effects that they can have. And that is a fairly new age thing in the sense that 20 years ago, nobody had to manage a TikTok addiction.
Mm,
Nobody had to manage an Instagram addiction
yeah.
or a dopamine rush from likes
Mm.
or no one even knew what an influencer was. The influencers of the world back then were guys that like were doing things at a high scale, man. It was the Steve
Nice.
Jobs of the world, it was the Bill Gates, for
Yeah.
example. That was an influencer, politicians and sportsmen.
The
But now we get
pioneers.
the pioneers, exactly. Now we're getting strung back and forth. And I do believe that social media has played a large effect in or played a large part in how our emotions affect us.
Yeah.
And for the audience listening, the reason why we're going into this is that the tools that we were discussing in episodes 5 and 6, the discipline and the consistency, are often thrown out the room because of how we are feeling, because of
Mm.
the emotions at place.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the emotions, like you say, it's probably because the thing is we are emotional beings.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said,
Correct.
it's in the design.
It's
It's there.
it's it's in the design, and they were designed for good. You know what I'm saying? And you know what we talk about the previous generation. I can't remember who said it, man. Such a cool quote. Is that this generation replaced champions for celebrities.
Eesh, that's
Yeah,
tough.
I was like, ooh, that one smacks. That one smacks. Because you look. I mean, Kylie Jenner has how many millions? Well, probably hundreds of millions
She
of
has the most.
followers.
She has the most. Her and Ronaldo, Cristiano.
Yeah.
He's a champion, I'd say.
But I mean, the point I'm making is that we have all these women flocking after Kylie Jenner, right?
Yeah.
For whatever reason each one of them has, but there isn't a single, even fraction of an interest in, for example, what women engineers and scientists and tech professionals and all these business leaders who are women are doing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you take the CEO of AMD, right?
Mm,
Uh, um, Woman, obviously as well. Jen, no, not Jen. That's Nvidia. Lisa. I can't remember her surname. Asian surname. But
yeah.
anyway, her name's Lisa. Listen, that auntie. I'm calling her auntie. Sorry, that's the Indian in me coming out. But listen, dude, the job that she did with Nvidia, ATI at the time, right?
Yeah.
This company was in the hole of holes. They were about to shut down. A very prominent company back in the early gaming days and everything. You
Mm,
know, she came in, right? I think her name's Lisa. I hope it's Lisa. Anyway, she came in and she brought in a strategy, and man, she now has made AMD the market leader
yeah.
in probably under 10 years, maybe 10 years, somewhere there. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is this now, no one's going to subscribe to her Instagram and all that kind of stuff. Why? Because Lisa or the AMD CEO, okay, is not giving them the experience that they're looking for.
Mm, the emotional
The
experience that
emotional
they're looking for.
experience. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And the other thing is this is that because we link onto things that give us emotional experiences, we start creating connections with them.
yeah.
I promise you, bro. I promise you. I've sat down with people who could tell me more about the Kardashians, okay, than they could about what they were doing at school or what was happening at work, what's even happening in our country. And
Yeah,
they,
man, it frustrates the life out of me. I'm like, you know what? You can't, man, it's just like you can't remember or understand things that are beneficial to you. But as soon
yeah,
as you bring up a TV show or a movie or some sort of celebrity orientated franchise, dude, from A to Z, they know it all.
100%. And
And
here's the thing. I mean, I'm not slamming anyone watching these things or whatever, but I'm just drawing the comparison of the extremes that exist. Is that people have a tendency now through this technology and the stuff, they want to
yeah,
live vicariously through these things.
yes, yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, hey, hold on. Wait. You've got your own life to live,
Yeah.
right? They're living their own life. Everyone has their own life to live.
That's it.
You
You
with
know,
me?
and let's bring it closer to home, Bash. And like you said, definitely not slamming anyone out there, but it's a prudent point to make,
Mm,
is that they are looking to these people that don't even know that they exist, number one, and that will never have any sort of real impact on their lives if we very realistic. Um, but then the local champions, for example, are completely ignored.
yeah,
You know, the
completely.
teachers, the principals, the nurses, the normal ordinary, hardworking mother that keeps I'm just going with the mother because we were speaking about women,
Yeah.
but, like, the ordinary person that keeps a household alive and going gets 0 recognition,
Mm.
gets
No.
0, yeah, recognition is
Consideration.
yeah, consideration in the day to day,
Mm.
and we have to start asking ourselves, but if we're looking for a better way for ourselves, number 1, and a better way for our families, number 2, and a better way for our communities, surely we need to start bringing the recognition a bit closer to home.
100%. 100%. Huge point. Because, technology has made the world so small, but just because the world is small doesn't mean it's reachable.
Mm, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
like,
that's a good one.
I mean,
Repeat that, bro, repeat
yeah,
that.
but it's true though. I mean, dude, you know what? We are, we have family abroad, and obviously because of time zones and stuff, we have like these video calls at weird times of the day.
Yeah,
But the truth is, at the push of a button, I can be in contact with them,
yeah,
right? But it doesn't mean they're reachable. I can't get in my car and cross the ocean.
yeah,
Do you understand? BMWs are great, but they can't do that.
yeah.
Neither can Audis. I'm just saying. Okay. But you understand what I'm saying? So what
Maybe a
happened?
Toyota Land Cruiser.
Yeah, maybe we just get the Top Gear guys to fit it out. Like. But wait, we're digressing. All right, focus. Yeah, focus. So the thing is, this is just because technology has made the world smaller doesn't mean it's reachable. You
Yeah.
know, and because uh, um in the olden times, right, a few generations back, you're talking about these addictions. Okay,
Mm,
so let's compare a TikTok addiction to alcohol, drugs, or all the stuff that have typically been around, in those days, right? From alcohol and drugs, you're going to see the impact of that much sooner than a TikTok addiction.
mhm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the TikTok addiction, you're not going to come out of your room and be drunk on TikTok. How is someone going to know? You understand what I'm saying? But if someone's got an alcohol addiction and you flopping around in the street,
Yeah.
it's going to be like, hey, wait a minute. This brother, something's not right with this guy.
And the uncle's not walking straight, huh?
that uncle, you okay there? Hey, bro, you all right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It shows there's domestic violence at home. They're slipping at work. All these kind of
Mm,
things. And because this little thing here, right? Because this little thing here, um, has become our sort of avatar, right?
yeah.
What does that mean? It means that this thing now becomes our kind of like image, our personal space.
Yeah.
Before our personal space used to be internal.
Yeah.
You with me? If we didn't want to share anything, we didn't have to share whatever. Someone accesses your phone now, they get everything. You with
That's
me?
it.
And again, I'm not slamming technology. I'm just bringing across, Lou, that we may need to be conscious about what we're giving over
Yeah.
to the digital side. You with me?
Well, yeah, to that point, Bash, we're not slamming it, and if any of the audience feels like we are slamming it, then not slamming you, but just saying, maybe take a step back and ask yourself why you're getting triggered about
Mm.
it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because in all honesty, it comes down, like we were just saying, the management of what we're using these tools at hand for. And I always think about emotions as, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, it's what's going to define if the experience is good or bad.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. I mean, that's like a really simple way of thinking about it. And the emotion that I choose to carry throughout the day, it's going to either make it a great day or a bad day. But it's my
100%.
choice to manage it. And I guess the point that we're trying to make with emotions and the technology, I don't know where the technology thread came from, but I'm glad that we're on it, Bash.
Yeah, yeah. Just came in, I
Here
guess.
we are. Here
Yeah,
we are. But I think the point that we're trying to make is that both technology and emotions have got a rightful place in the process.
exactly.
They've got a rightful
Exactly.
place to create a positive impact, to create a negative impact. And you know what? The negative impact isn't always as bad as it seems either.
Mm,
Sometimes it can just be a good warning sign to say, hey, if this part of the process is making you feel like this, maybe take a step back and pause
mm,
and see, oh
mm,
my gosh, what is triggering me?
mm.
Wait a minute, this doesn't feel the way it was feeling yesterday. What's changed? Right? So it's definitely serving a purpose of some sort, but only if we choose to let it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I speak for myself, when it comes to the tools that we're mentioning, the consistency and the discipline, the number one thing that throws them out of the room or out of the window sometimes is my emotion.
Mm,
Like you were saying, I'll go through half an hour on TikTok, finally get out of bed, and all of a sudden that drive that I had, that plan that I had to be consistent and disciplined in sitting down and doing work from, let's say, 9 through to 11, then take a short break, it's completely out the window because I'm not feeling myself anymore, man.
Yeah, yeah, of
I'm not
course.
feeling like Lou. I'm feeling lethargic. I'm feeling down. I'm feeling, yeah, whatever. And
Mm,
then other days, I'm feeling super hyped because I don't know. I just watched something that really made me happy. Maybe it was like Gordon Ramsay cooking or this or that. And here I am. Now I'm feeling great. But it's
mm,
just, I need to take a step back nonetheless and ask myself, but wait, why has my decision making to continue on the process been so heavily influenced by my emotions?
mm. Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
And I think that's a mature question to be asking.
Mm,
And in all honesty, even the worldly people, the people that aren't based or that don't believe in what we believe in when it comes to Christ and the freedom that He has for us to be set free from emotions, I'm sure they'll agree with the logic that says that, hey, you need to think about what you're thinking about.
yeah,
You need that level
yeah,
of awareness that's going on.
yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, it goes back to the point that you made that we're just going to be polarized. Boom, boom. And we
All the time.
dance from extremes, man.
Mm,
And it's
mm,
just not cool. It's not sustainable either. It's not enjoyable, number two. And number three, it just isn't conducive to anything that's actually helpful most of the time.
mm. Yeah,
You
for
get
sure.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
no, 100%, bro. 100%.
I was actually hoping that we could touch on that. But Bash, when it
Mm,
comes to the better way of doing things, the better way of experiencing life, the better way of going through the process with the emotions, and like I said, when we're not going to push this onto the people, but the better way that we know is that Christ has set us free from emotions.
mm.
Could you maybe just break down the process of that or the mechanic behind that and why it's so liberating to be able to look to Christ, the objective anchor, and all of a sudden the subjective emotional anchor doesn't have that pull
Yeah, for sure.
anymore?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the emphasis is that it's the objective anchor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Emotions, and I think it's maybe we need to just define it like this. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm such an emotional person." You know, does that mean that you feel emotions? Does that mean that your emotions are very deep? Does it? Well,
Mm,
I think it's important we get the kind of correct image there. When someone's emotional, right? The image I get in my mind is that their decision making is driven by emotion.
yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you can have emotion doesn't mean you're emotional. Yeah, you with me? Because we all have emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you with me? We all have emotions, but the thing is this: is that the minute your emotions drive your decision making,
Mhm.
then you're emotional.
The minute your emotions drive your decision making, you're emotional.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
let's talk about that now. What you said, how Christ being the objective anchor,
Yeah.
right? So for example, people who are highly emotional, there are a lot of kind of um, studies, and there's a lot of things been done over the years where, what can I say, that they would say no, but then it's a certain type of diet, and it's this, and it's hormones, and it's this chemical, and it's all that kind of stuff. No, look, I don't know how much of that we want to get into, but at the core of it is that I've realized is that there is the lack in training or practice in
Mm.
managing your emotion.
Yeah.
You
That's it.
understand what I'm saying? That's the thing. So, for example, let's take a basic example, Lou.
Yeah.
When you feeling down in the day,
Yeah.
right? You want to engage in an activity to change your emotional state,
Yeah.
right? Because what's the mechanic? The mechanic is that our activities, our environments, our experiences dictate our emotional state. So
Mm.
if I arrive at home affairs and I'm standing in the line for 40 minutes, and then the lady behind the desk comes out and says, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen, we are very sorry, but the system is offline."
Yeah, for the third time that day.
Okay, so my emotional state was already okay. I'm like, yeah, I got to do this. There's no issue, whatever. But she's going to come out and say the system's offline when I've been here for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
E- That environment is going to dictate my emotional state.
Yeah.
You with me? Because why? There is an experience I'm having in my heart, and my emotions are letting me know that this is how you're going to express it.
Yeah.
This is how you're going to respond to it. You with me? So, so we always got to remember that if I want to change the way I'm feeling, I need an activity. You with me? I need to change my focus. I need to change my engagement, my environment, all that kind of stuff. But here's the thing, right? How often are we going to find the environment in everyday life that we need? I mean, if you're going to work and you're at the office, right? And you're feeling down, okay?
Yeah. Good luck trying to find something that's gonna I'm just gonna start doing these reports and then I'll feel great.
You with me? I
Let
mean,
let me start by 100 cold
uh,
calls. I'm sure I'll feel better. And after the first 10, no one's answered the phone.
exactly. Or,
Mm.
it's not so bad. I'm feeling down. It's not so bad. Work's going to be over just now. And then you look at the clock and it's 8:15 and you're like,
Yow.
what? I feel like I've been here for 6 hours already.
Yeah.
You with me? But here's the thing, that objective anchor, right, being Jesus, okay? You see, walking with Christ is not just about having him there,
Yeah.
it's about experiencing him.
And that comes from the inside out, my man.
Yes. So
Inside
now,
out.
so now we agree that we still need an experience to change our emotional state.
We
Are you
do,
with me? We need
but not
that.
one from the outside.
We must experience Christ to change our emotional
Mm,
state. Because you see, when we experience Him, right, we're not going to feel demand and letdown and disappointment and frustration and stress. We're going
yeah.
to experience peace. We're going to experience joy. We're going to experience wholeness. We're going to experience contentment.
Yeah.
Because Christ is not one who takes from us, He gives to us.
Yeah.
He says, I have come to give you life. So,
Yeah.
anyone who's listening, if you think Christ takes from you or demands from you, wrong. All right. If you have any more questions, come to CWW. We'll discuss them with you. Okay.
That's it.
But the truth is this now is that we acknowledge we need an experience.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the experiences on the process, right? Caffeine.
Phew, my man. It starts the experience. It wakes it up in the mornings and then it keeps it going throughout the day. But each time it gives a little bit less and it
Okay,
takes
so
a little bit more.
the reason I said caffeine is because you and I both need to hear this. We need to talk
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're
So
talking to ourselves now. Audience, go take a coffee break.
no, don't leave. Come back. Wait. So do you remember a while back, and it must have been, yes, it could have been over a year or whatever, right? So we go on a coffee run, and then Lou is like, dude, you got to try this. Okay. So I'm like, okay, what's the order? And he says, it's a tall triple shot cappuccino. I was
Oof.
like, yeah, look, there's the face. You saw it. You guys saw it, right? Oof. Tall triple shot cappuccino.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I'm in for this. I love coffee. That night, I laid in my bed and my veins were buzzing. I promise you. I was like, wow, right? It was rough. Okay, it was rough. But man, I felt great. I'm like, let's
On the other
go.
side of town, Lou was passed out, bro.
Yeah, because obviously Lou's already numb to that. Okay. But my point being is that uh, um, we often hack our bodies to change our emotional state.
Mm.
You know, back in the day when that high school moment was so weird for me when we went away one December and we came back, and now all my friends and cousins they're partying. You know, there's alcohol involved, there's smoking involved. I'm like, but guys, the last December we were jumping off roofs into swimming pools and playing cricket and all these things. Now we're doing all these weird things. What's going on? But
Mm.
what do? We hack the body to change the emotional state. So whether it's caffeine, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, or whether it's
Ooh,
this.
ooh, TikTok.
Are you with me? And all those things fall into the same bracket because all of those things adjust our emotional state, but
Mm.
to our own detriment. Because
Yeah.
we want to, how can we, logically, Lou, how can we feel happy about something that's destroying us?
Ah, man, it's a horrible question to answer because I don't. It's just, yeah,
It's not
uh,
logical.
yeah, it isn't logical.
You,
It goes back to what I was saying in the beginning about the that instant gratification. It doesn't feel bad in the moment.
in the moment,
It
it
just
doesn't.
feels okay, and it comes down to what you just asked me now.
Mm,
How can we
mm,
feel happy about something that's destroying us? It's poor management, man.
exactly. And let's talk about the process now, right?
Yeah.
Studying. Studying's a great topic. Ugh, feel
Well,
like
we should know.
yeah, I feel like a full-time student. Anyway, so studying, right? Let's take studying.
Yeah.
On some days you have good days, some days you have bad days. But I mean, the ideal scenario is consistency, right? That's what we said. Is that
Yeah.
like you said last episode? You know that 20-minute rule.
Yeah.
20-minute rule. Just start with a little bit every day, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Shuppies. But what we want to do is that we see an experience that's not going to give us a good emotional experience. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Studying, for example, if you have to learn something new, I promise you, most of the time, it's not going to start great.
Mm-mm.
Once you've taken the journey of learning it, then it's great,
Yeah.
right? But the emotions on the way. I mean, you get upset with the lecturer, you get upset with the subject matter, you get upset with your computer, you get upset with yourself, you get upset. All of a sudden, now you're upset with Ramaphosa, you know, because you're trying to cram in studying in a time you don't want to because the power's going off. It
Yeah.
like just spirals out of control, right? So what do we do if we're not uh, um, skilled in managing our emotions? Is that all of a sudden we have no issue with just turning it off and go finding something to do that makes us feel nice.
Yeah. It's true.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So the key is this is that our experience, right, dictates our emotion.
Mm.
If we got to do something terrible, we can have bad emotions. We do something good, we have good emotions, right?
Yeah.
But the objective anchor, the external anchor that you mentioned, in Christ, He's inviting us to have an experience with Him
Mm.
that's not going to hurt us. Have an experience with Him that's not going to short circuits, that's not going to, make us prioritize our things incorrectly, right?
Mm.
That's not going to make us treat our loved ones badly. It's not going to make us put our life out of balance. You,
Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying? Not going to make us lose focus about what's important or not.
Mm.
Are you with me? So, I mean, I went Durban via Cape Town there to answer your question, but I mean, it's quite an intricate thing because
Yeah.
emotions and managing them, in today's world, it's seemingly a very, very elusive explanation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Especially on the mechanic side of it.
Yeah.
You with me? So when we're in the process, there's positive emotions and there's negative emotions, right?
Yeah.
And the managing of those emotions. I don't know. You can jump in over here now
Yeah.
on because I mean you've been talking about managing self.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and the better way to do it. I mean, what's a typical way that you approach uh, um, dealing with positive emotions on the process and negative emotions on the process?
It's also quite a loaded question, man, because what I have noticed is that when it comes to with the dealing of the emotions, it also changes day by day. And it takes a while to establish a baseline to say, you know what, if this is what pops up in my heart today, this is how I need to deal with it. And I think that's where everyone that is listening to this just needs to take a step back and understand that there is a process within the process. And what I mean by that is that, for example, let's say you're on this whole, let's go to studying. You're busy studying something new, it's frustrating the living daylights out of you, or you're having a good time, whichever one. And an emotion crops up and you're not too sure how to deal with it. That in and of itself is a process. And it also takes time. And what I had to find is that when it came to my positive and my negative emotions, is that I had to be really diligent in being able to just step away from the emotion in a sense.
Mm,
And firstly, identify wait, what has caused this? What has caused this? And is that justified? Yes or no?
yeah.
And the reason why I go at the roots of asking, is it justified? Is that in all honesty, I'm just trying to hold myself to a level of accountability
Mm,
with, am I actually being, because if it's a negative emotion, it's not healthy, man. It's not healthy for my body. It's not healthy for my mind. It's not healthy for any of my friendships or relationships. So I need to be mature and ask myself, hey, Lou, bro, what's going on?
yeah. Yeah.
Is this really justified right now or is it not?
Mm,
And if it isn't, then coming back to what you said, I have to be a man. I have to be a man and, just grow up. Boys don't cry, you
mm,
know,
mm,
and there's nothing wrong with it in that sense in my mind. And if it's a positive emotion, on the plus side, I still, my approach to those is to also then take a step back and make sure that the positive emotion doesn't get out of hand,
mm,
that I
mm,
don't lose sight of where I'm at in the process.
yeah.
Because man, that can knock me off my feet. I'll tell you what, well, Bash, you would know, I was sitting with you for 5 hours last week, Friday, trying to sort something out with the studying process that I'm on. And, we're going good. We're going good. It's like, yeah, I understand things. You know what, Bash, give me a project. I can handle it. Boom, hit the next module. Bash, I don't know what's going on, you know? And it's just, if in the few modules before that, I hadn't managed that positive emotion to say, you know what, let me just remember where I'm at here, it could have crushed me.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? To now be in a place where it feels like I'm starting all over again.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's to take that step, that step, that careful step back. That's it, man. My English is going on a process, yeah.
Stifle.
So stairful, that is a step that is carefully made, a stairful.
Oh, there we go. Learning things on the Respawn podcast.
So I had to take a careful step back in the process to say, you know what, irrespective of what I'm feeling, let me take a step back. Let me see where it's coming from.
Mm,
From there, and me following what I believe to be the better way, I need to look to Christ and see if it's anchored in Him, man.
that's the thing.
Because
That's
Christ
the
ain't
thing.
jealous.
Yep.
Christ isn't frustrated. Christ isn't feeling like something unfairly has been done to him. You know? And
Mm,
that's not his portion, therefore it's not mine.
yeah.
So, and that's where the maturity as a believer comes in. And that is why the way of Christ, like you're saying, brilliant point that you said, people think that choosing Christ as the better way is going to be painful or it's going to take from them. It's like, no, it's not. It is, in actual fact, a much easier pathway to be taking in the sense that it provides the quickest escape, man, from what it is that I'm feeling that is not justified.
Mm,
It
mm,
provides the quickest solution to say, but you know what, Lou, you don't have to remain there. Even if, and this is the cool thing, right, about managing the emotions, even if you're feeling a negative emotion, and I'm running with the negative ones because I do think people relate to them a bit easier in a
no, of
sense.
course. Of course. I mean, people don't even remember positive emotions. They just remember the negative ones.
Yeah, exactly, right? So even if your negative emotion is justified according to worldly standards,
Yeah.
Christ is the only thing that is going to tell you, but wait, there's a better way.
Mm,
And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because I had to break this down for myself to say that, you know what, Lou, irrespective of what you're feeling, you're the only one feeling it. And I was like, well, that's interesting
mm,
because, you know, Bash, if I'm highly frustrated right now, that's not going to affect you. It's not going to change your standard of living, your comfort of life. It's going to affect mine, you know? So why am I choosing not just to deal with it and get the hell out of it? You know what I'm saying? And that's where it was this brilliant points that you're making. The external environment, if that is what you are going to rely on to
mm,
change your emotion, it does work to a degree when it comes
yeah.
to certain things. It does, but it's not going to be the answer. It's not what's going to set you free from being a slave to how you feel.
Mm,
It's not what's going to set you free to say, you know what, this is not who I am. This is who I am, and this is how I'm going to experience this right now.
yeah.
Because let's
Yeah.
face it, man, like we were saying, the emotions, they've got a place in the process. They've
Mm,
got the positive, they've got the negative. But how we choose to perceive them and how we choose to interact with those emotions, it's really going to determine what we take out of the situation.
yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Are we going to learn from
Absolutely.
this? Are we going to be drawn closer as a family because of
Mm,
this?
mm,
Or are we going to let the emotions blind us to what lesson is to be learned? Are we going to let the emotions make us drift further apart? That comes down to really the managing
no, no,
of
of course.
emotions, that managing of self, and the better way, managing it through the middleman that has already managed it all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Middleman
know,
being crushed. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. So I don't know if I answered your question, but
No,
my
I think you did.
my number one step, in all honesty, is take a step back and just try and figure out what the hell is going on here,
Mm,
and then from there, the ball's back in my court,
yeah.
essentially speaking.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I like what you said there, where, from the emotional side, just, try and find out where's this coming from.
Yeah.
You with me? That in itself is such a huge step because, the problem with self awareness in the world today is
Yeah.
that self awareness leads to self consciousness.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? So what that means is that people are self aware, and they can be very self aware about it, but whether it's a positive or a negative, they become self conscious, which affects their confidence.
Yeah.
It makes them insecure. It makes them second guess themselves. Makes them awkward. All these kind of things, because there is a difference between self awareness and self consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Now, self awareness, right, to take you to Christ consciousness is what we need to practice.
Yeah.
And that's basically what you were explaining, is that you say, okay, but wait a minute. If I'm frustrated in this now,
Mm.
I understand I'm frustrated. This thing happened. This is why I'm frustrated. I got to connect with Jesus now.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I have to connect with him now because, you know, all of us, we have this yearning for a perfect life,
Mhm.
perfect environments, perfect emotional state, perfect. everything. You know what I'm saying? We have that yearning. Why? Because God put it in us because that's how He lives. You
Yeah.
with me? But we
Mm.
understand the whole story why we can't have a perfect environment is because sin's in the world and death is reigning through sin, right?
Yeah.
But those who come to Christ, and they want to take what He's got to offer, right? They have an opportunity to be free of an inconsistent environment.
That's it.
You with me? They have an opportunity to experience the perfect environment, and that's His presence.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that, Bash, because this full disclaimer out there is that that process of stepping out and trying to identify where the emotion is coming from and then taking it to Christ, it's not necessarily easy all the time.
Mm-mm.
And it's not
Mm-mm.
an instantaneous process either. But I'm glad that you mentioned it, that the opportunity is at least available.
No, 100%. I mean,
And you know what? You can either hit the mark or you can miss it. But the times that you hit the mark, it's gonna it's
both.
just really gonna do something inside of you, man, to try
Mm,
your absolute best to get there.
mm,
But like I was saying, disclaimer, it's not an easy process. It's
yeah.
not like I do it right all the time. Hell, I fail most of the time, to be honest with you.
Mm,
But the times I've gotten it right have proven to me why it's the right way.
100%.
And it's why I
100%.
keep on trying. It might take a day or 2, it might take an hour or 2, it might take a week or 2.
Mm,
It really depends on I suppose it depends on me and
yeah,
the choices I
of
make.
course.
But
Of
the
course.
point that I'm trying to make is that to the audience out there, we're not trying to say that this is the way to do it and that we have mastered it. What we're saying is that we have identified that this is a better way,
Mm,
and at least the opportunity is always available.
exactly. I mean, Lou, you want to talk about how difficult it is, right?
Yeah.
Let's just break this down for a minute. Okay. So this is a book on quantum physics, right? It's called The Quantum World, The Disturbing Theory at the Heart of Reality. Okay.
Why do you have that, Bash?
I just piqued my interest. I just wanted to dabble in it a little bit, right? You
We
know
need a
me.
reel from you explaining what
Yeah.
it is that piqued your interest.
Well, yeah, it just piqued my interest. I want to know. Okay, so let's take this book. Okay,
Yeah.
now if I want to come to terms with this book, I
Yeah.
have physical pages.
Mhm.
I have words written on a page. I have an intellectual uh, um, explanation, or I have a well articulated explanation from a very intellectual person. You
Mhm.
know, they've structured all the data in a way to take me on a journey to bring me to understanding. All
Yeah.
these kind of things. So I'll be honest with you, reading a book about the quantum world can seemingly be easier than trying to become self-aware and manage myself.
Good lord.
Because here's the thing. I mean, when I'm inundated with emotion,
Yeah.
where's the hardcover book? Where's the journey? Where's the words on the page? Where's the
R
instruction manual? Where's all these things?
Yeah.
You
What do you
with me?
come to terms with?
And at the core of it, that thing about not finding out, not wanting to find out, okay, the thing of needing to find out where's this coming from. Do
Mm.
you know if we don't have the objective anchor, we're just going to resolve the reasons so that we're always right.
That's terrible, man.
Whereas if Christ is the one who's right for us, our righteousness,
Yeah.
even in midst of all those emotions, I can see things, or I can be wary of things where I'm wrong and I'm causing the problem.
Mm.
You understand? So this is the freedom that you're talking about now. This is where the rubber meets the road. And the worst part is, or not the worst part is, the most significant part is that when I'm trying to come to terms with something that's metaphysical, because I have no indicators, Lou.
Yeah.
Okay, happiness indicates a laughing. Sadness indicates a crying. Okay,
Mm.
whatever. The body responds to your emotional state. Like you were saying, when you're stressed, you're gonna feel it directly in your stomach. But yay.
That pit, my bro, it is there.
Yeah,
It is
bro.
there.
Jeez. You know when it starts going like this, a- and then it
Oh,
starts burning. You know when it's burning. You're like, jeez.
why are we relating to this so well? Damn it, man.
Because dude, it's such a real part of life, and when all those things happen, like I found even when like let's talk about that stress or that fear. Do you know, right, that if we practice what the Bible teaches us,
Mhm.
right, pertaining to life and godliness, that we're supposed to walk with Christ as our objective anchor, and we're supposed to be experiencing Him and taking from Him, and affirming our identities in Him. We can go
Yeah.
on and on and on. But I mean, if we go with that, and we say that, okay, uh, um, I'm gonna follow through with this, and this is what I'm gonna do, even when the explanation is my fault, you know. So even if I'm in a circumstance that I know is my fault and I know there's something bad coming, you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach, that
Yeah.
bad thing, is
Yeah.
that um if I don't have a way to get rid of that feeling or that fearful expectation, and um I'm like stuck in it and it's crippling me, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do everything to try and avoid the consequence of my decision. You with
Yeah.
me? But
Yeah.
decisions have consequences. We understand that. But when I go and connect to Christ in that, and I get reaffirmed in who He is, even in my own mistake, I have peace in my heart to take the consequence that I need to take. Do you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? And
That's it.
my approach to the consequence is not going to be self-preservation to make more damage. I'm going to take
Yeah.
accountability, and I'm going to listen to His leading through the Holy Spirit to take me out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I see, Lou, your lighting's changed a bit. It's been a bit of a power failure at your place or something. I don't know. Something
Yeah,
something.
man. I don't know what it is. I think ESCOM's doing their things or the cable thieves, one of the two.
One of the two. My gosh, jeez,
But
that's
we
terrible.
carry on, bro. We carry on. We push forwards. You see, I had to practice that right now. I had to like step out of that emotion. Like, you know what? I'm going to carry on with respawning, not bash stuff it. We're not going to post episode 7. But yeah, we are.
Exactly. We're just carrying on. So I think, look, we have said quite a bit. I mean, we've made some good time, and I think, from the controlling emotions point of view, I mean, you shared your process. I think from my side, if I could share my process, is that
Yeah.
um, the first thing I would encourage everyone to focus on is understand what the environment, what being in Christ is offering you.
That's huge.
That's number one. You have to take that journey to go to discover what Christ is offering you.
Yeah.
Because for me, number one, when I get into that huge emotional state and I get into this thing about all these things that I deserve, and get into that victim mindset, or get into that
Mm,
punisher mindset, whatever it is,
yeah.
I have the comparison of him. So
Yeah.
I can take that step back that you're talking about, and I can turn to him, and I can go and experience him. You with
Yeah.
me? And I can go and release all those things and everything, so that when I come back, right, I'm seeing clearly again. The situation hasn't changed, but I've
Mm,
changed. Are you with me? And if I've
yeah.
changed, I can change the situation.
Yeah.
You with me? But it's an active thing. It's a thing of, we don't just go on impulse.
Yeah.
The simple thing of when you're trying to give up sugar, or you need to stop sugar or cut down. The minute
Yeah.
your mouth does that like weird tingling thing, you know what I'm talking about, right? That tingling thing for sugar. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you just had the most delicious dinner, or whatever, and then it does that tingling thing. It's like, there's a piece of chocolate, or where's something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't just go on an impulse.
Mm,
Stop, because the minute you diffuse that impulse, the minute you diffuse that emotion, and you think objectively, you're like, no, no, but I'm not going to do that.
mm,
What happens? You're left wanting. You feel like a lack, like, I can't, I can't. So what do you do in that process? You'll connect with Christ.
yeah.
That's the thing. If you're left wanting, connect with Him. He's giving.
Yeah.
Are you with me? He's the one who's giving. So managing the emotions in the process, guys, whether you're on the up, whether you're on the down, whatever your emotional state, dealing with people, dealing with work, whatever it is, do not let your emotional state cripple, right? You from cripple your journey in reaching your potential.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? That's the key. Don't let it cripple you. Connect with Jesus. Let
Yeah, and
Him
that's
give
such a
to you.
cool step, man. It really is cool. Because I was just thinking now while you're busy mentioning that if the external environment is the number one thing that's throwing us off, it makes logical sense to search for a new environment.
That's it.
It's
That's it.
just it's a cool step, man,
Yeah.
and I'm sure everyone can appreciate the logic and the mechanic behind doing that.
No, of course. And I mean, listen, we can thank the good Lord for giving us Jesus and creating this way, because at the end of it, like you say, we've been given an environment that's never going to fail us, never going to change, that's always good for us, and all these things. So,
Yeah,
and I'm so glad we've dealt with the process in all our previous episodes, because I want to tell everyone that this is going to be something that you must practice. This is going to be something
yeah,
that you do every day. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? This is going to be something that you do all the time for the sake of your own heart, of your own life, and for all the loved ones around you. You know,
Yeah.
for the sake of what you're gonna go out into the world and do, what you're gonna give to people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think, look, Lou. With that being said, obviously all the hiccups we're having, you got some really good mood lighting there. Though I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed.
It's a vibe.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
vibe.
it's really a vibe, you know. Gotta take out the guitar and like start playing some stuff there, you know. But I think as always, you know, guys, from my side, thank you so much for watching. I know this episode, it may feel like we went into a lot of things and all the stuff, but you know, take some time, chew on it, as always, and kind of, you know, make it real for you. If you want
Mm,
a bit more help, if you want a few more tips to make it practical, put it in the comments. We can obviously do that. You know, reach out to us or whatever it is. And
yeah.
I promise you, if you can defuse that time bomb that is your emotional state, potential time bomb that is your emotional state, you're gonna experience a lot more peace every day, and you're gonna be making a lot more ground. You know what I'm saying? So, as always, from Sir, is it Sir Bash? I am Sir Bash.
So bash.
From Sir Bash, grace and peace, as always. And we're going to see you in episode 8.
Oh Lord, Bash. I don't think anyone's gonna come back after that, bro. Audience, in the comments, what was worse, the trumpets or the wink? I need to know because I can't decide. Yeah. But yeah, Bash from our side, like you said, quite a bit that we covered. So guys, take the time, go through it, work through it, man. This is honestly practical steps that you're going to see a benefit if you decide to just try it out. I do think it would be pretty cool if we could hear from the audience. What sort of emotions have you guys struggled to deal with in the past experiences that you've gone through, in the past processes? What emotions is it that have constantly plagued you? There's always that one repeat emotion that just never shakes itself, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't admit it's back. But you know what? Drop it in the comments. Be vulnerable with us. If you don't want everyone to see it, DM us. It's something that we can chat about on the next episode. It is something that we can definitely break down the mechanics. And you know what? We might just be able to lead you to a better way on doing things. But Bash, Sir Bash, that was a great episode. Definitely better than my current electrical situation. But from Lord Llew, as always, guys, welcome to Respawn.